We're back.
Hi.
Welcome back. Jim is wearing a button on his lapel right now that is, it's a picture of me ripping open my, as Castiel, ripping open my shirt with the letter, "I'm coming." This is "I am coming."
Yes.
Which was one of those things, I don't know if any of you remember, this was at some point in the past we shot this. Was it last week? And I guess Amara had burned it into my chest. I can't remember. So Amara had burned into my chest, "I am coming." And I was supposed to, the script says, you know, Amara burns in Castiel's chest, the letter, the words, "I am coming," and I read it, Jared read it, we all read it, and then I got set, and they're like, "All right, here we are. They got the shirt, we're going to put on the prosthetic, sort of makeup stuff." And I was like, "Oh yeah. Come on, it says "I am coming." So the idea is I rip my shirt off, and I have a huge expression on my face, and I say, I'm one of those things that didn't dawn on anyone reading the script, like, let's reword that one. Let's tweak it a little bit. And so, and unfortunately they made, it was actually prosthetic makeup, like the letters are raised and textured and they've been made in a studio before. So we couldn't just on the fly change the spelling or the phrasing, so we had to stick with it. And luckily for me, once every year, the president of Warner Brothers Television and all of the executives come to set they come up from LA and they visit the set for a half an hour. And so anyway, we're filming the scene, and I am making a mockery of this lettering on camera. I'm like, you know, like this. I'm acting out what it says on my chest. And there was an uncharacteristically quiet amount of non-laughter coming from behind the monitors, and I'm like, I'm giving you guys good material here. They're you know, on the other side of the wall, looking at the monitors. But the director and, you know, the script VP and first AD and all those people over there, they're not really laughing as much as I feel that they should be. So I'm like, what's wrong with you people? And then they yell, "All right, cut. And I walk around a little bit incensed. I walk around off the set and back to the monitors, and I see that there's the president of the network, all of the executives, and I'm mortified. Especially because we just had this sexual harassment where they specifically stipulated the kinds of behavior that are considered unacceptable in the workplace. And this was sort of like a poster child of that kind of behavior. It's hard to talk your way out of. Anyway, needless to say, I think I sort of burned that image into their minds. I really nailed that one. Okay, whose turn is it? I'm really rambling today, sorry. Have we done one question? Is that... Don't worry, you guys. You're definitely going to get to the second question. Yes.
Hi, Misha.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
What's your favorite part about playing Castiel?
My favorite part about playing Castiel. try to explain this subculture to people I just meet.
I'm sorry.
They don't understand. They don't understand. I don't have nobody, but they don't understand.
We're sorry, but we're not ashamed.
That's actually that should be the supernatural fandom motto. We gotta stick with that. I'm sorry, but I'm not ashamed. It's like, wave your freak flag high. All right. My favorite part about playing Cass. I don't know. That's a good question. There's a lot that I like about playing Cass. I like that the character changes a lot. I like that he has superpowers. That's pretty cool. I like that there are action figures of my character. That is always a childhood dream of mine to actually have an action figure. I think it was maybe season 6 or something like that when there was a kid that Castiel had been shrunk down by thank you. And what's it called? Antichrist. Thank you. That word was escaping me. Subsequently, people accused me of being the Antichrist on the internet. Which was cool. At one point, I don't know what I was Googling, but whatever I was Googling was a question phrase, and it started with "is." And so I typed in "is," and then it auto-populated with, "Is Misha Collins the Antichrist?" Which means more than one other person had Googled, "Is Misha Collins the Antichrist?" And of course, not that you know of is the answer. I'll be Googled for you. So yeah. We had that Castiel was shrunk down, and there was like a little action figure of Castiel, and I thought that would be amazing if someday there was actually an action figure, and there was like a whole bunch of them. I mean, there's these weird little misshapen troll turd-like dolls, but it's something. It's a step in the right direction. It's not like a macho muscle bulging thing. It's like a little oval egg. But whatever. Good enough for me. Thank you.
Hi, Misha.
Hi.
I'm William. My question is, my friend wanted me to ask her if you say love. She's over there. And the question is, if Castiel were to occupy another vessel, say a girl, would he or she be with Dean?
This is a very hypothetical question. I'm not sure. It's really hard to say. It would be pretty weird, I think, for everybody involved. I think that for it to work out, the girl whose body Castiel had occupied would have to be Dean's type. So I think if Cass were to occupy the vessel of a well-endowed Asian beauty, I think it would be a no-brainer at that point. Did I successfully dodge that question? Did I alienate a large swath of the audience? Great. Hi.
Someone on Twitter wanted to know how does Cash charge his phone if he doesn't have a house, and if he's using Angel Mojo to charge it?
I'm so glad we're finally getting that happens anytime someone mentions Angel Mojo. Did you just spike the mic? It's like, For the record, in case you didn't see me jump, that scared the shit out of me. CW actor collapses dead from a heart attack. After girl asks question and spikes the mic. Oh, thanks. The resurrection. Okay, so the answer to your question is Castiel, right under his Enochian warding tattoo, has a USB port. Thank you. Hi. How are you?
Good, thank you. I was wondering, what is there anything that you did in your past that you regret now?
No. Are you like coming forward with some story of something atrocious that I did? Is that what this is? Are you confronting me with one of my most insidious past actions? I'm nervous, actually. Please don't talk about that time when I... yes, I'm full of regrets and self-loathing, if that's what you're... Thank you. Wait! You don't have to leave yet. Why do you ask that question?
The entire family wants to know all about you.
Yeah, no, I've never done anything bad. Trying to think of a good story. Yeah, I've done bad things. I definitely regret things, yes. I want to stop now searching at the search function for things that I've done that I regret, because it's not a pretty picture of what's happening in my head right now. But I'll tell you an uplifting story that I told before to change the subject. It's sort of about regret, but not really. Well, this is a regret. This is a regret. I don't really, I'm not spending enough time being present and attentive with my children in their most formative years. And it is something that is it's present tense. Like I'm currently doing things that are building up future regret, I think. But I'm regretting it right now. Because childhood is very fleeting, and they're so malleable, and they're so thirsty for parental attention, and to get distracted by all of the other shiny objects that come up in life and not pay attention to that is something that I really don't like about myself at the moment. I'm trying to be better, but I think sometimes I'm just tired and grumpy and not paying attention. Way more than I thought that I would do as a parent. I thought I was going to be great. I'm kind of shitty a lot of the time. Well, yeah. Well, you do, but my kids don't. So speaking of being present, I tear up every time I tell this story. So I was tired. I was grumpy. I think I had a little bit of a cold. We'd gone to the playground, and I was telling the kids to come get in the van. And I'm not even sure where we had to go. I think I often am finding myself like, come on, hurry up, you guys, hurry up. Quit dawdling, and we actually don't have anywhere to go. But It's just like this sort of mindset. And so I was like, look, come on, get in the car, we gotta go. And Mason goes, she says, oh, well wait, there's dandelion things with a fuzz on them, like the dandelions that are going to seed that you can blow on. And I was like, Mason, just go. Okay, I'll be a good dad, we'll go pick these stupid fucking dandelions. So I picked one for each, myself and West and Mason, and I gave them the dandelions. I was like, now you get your dandelion and you buckle your goddamn car seat. And I buckled their car seat buckles. I gave them the dandelions, and I blew on mine, and I wished silently myself some platitude like, world peace or something like that, that I put no thought into. And West, he went next, and he said out loud, I wish for something that was a little more thoughtful. I wish for a cheetah. And then Mason was just holding hers and looking at it, and Wes said, Mason, you have to blow on it. When you blow on it, you can make a wish. And she looked like, oh, wow, that is awesome. Because at her stage of development, a wish is probably, you can make up a wish, you're probably going to get that thing. And so she blew on it, and she said, I wish for this. It's such a beautiful reminder. Like that's the best moment right there. So why not wish for that? I should practice telling that story at home, so I detach myself from it a little bit better. Embarrassing, my mascara's wrong. Hi.
Hey, sorry to dwell on the subject of your family, but it's
Shit, yeah. I think I might be a little too emotionally fragile right now to talk about it. Yes, go ahead.
I don't really have a backup question, I'm sorry. But what in particular does your family do that inspires you the most in life?
What does my family do that inspires me?
Yes.
Well, my wife, I can delineate many things about her that inspire me, but one very salient attribute of Vicky is that she, part of the brain that processes what's feasible, realistic, or possible, she is lacking that part of her. It was damaged somewhere in her early childhood, and that doesn't function for her. So she has these grand ideas that are completely unfettering, and I think that it has just been a real. It has strongly influenced our whole lives together. We've been together for 39 years. That's a lot. I'm 42, and we did not start dating when we were 3. But it's actually not that far off. I think we just had our. What's today's date? 22nd, okay, shit. The anniversary of when we met is the 24th, and we will be 20th. So the year, yeah. So I'm gonna look that up. It's been a while. Anyway, so that for me that is very that's an amazing quality that she has. It's very inspirational. Mason is endlessly present, as I have described, and Wes is just super fiery. He just has this great fight that I love about him. Like he is kind of not afraid of any situation or challenge, which I like. I think I'm gonna start getting jealous of him soon, though. So I'm not crazy about that. Yeah. One of my other favorite kid stories is Misha is very adorable. We were in bed, we're reading, they sort of snuggle up at bedtime for reading stories, and I said, I love you guys, I want you to stay my little babies forever. And Mason says, no, I'm going to grow up. No, I want you to stay my little baby forever. No, I'm going to grow up. No, I want you to stay my little baby forever. No, I'm going to grow up, and I'm going to get old, and I'm going to die. Yes. What's your name? Altina. Armatina? Agustina. Okay, who's doing that? I can't take it.
Today the photo had a chance to tell you that I love you, so that.
Oh, goodness, thank you.
And now my question.
I was just talking about my wife. A little awkward.
In Supernatural, when you think of a happy ending for Castiel, what do you
Happy,
say?
happy ending for Castiel? Well, there's a very sensible woman in the front row who's looking at me very earnestly and saying, don't do it. Don't, you're better than this. Don't go there. Don't. And she, yeah. I think it would involve a sunset and I mean, I don't know. It's a good question. Do you have a vision for of what a happy conclusion to Supernatural would be for Castiel?
Actually, no. So
Okay.
that's why I was asking you.
Well, you are asking me the question, and that's why. Did I dodge a bullet? No, I didn't. She could have answered the question, and it would have saved me from having to do it. We need the sidebar here. Okay, so. Okay. Well, if they. Okay, I think the writers might want. I mean, you don't know what the writers want. At the very least, look. We're talking about the ending. You know what? You and I are not getting along very well right now. This has stirred up quite a bit of controversy between me and the VIPs, and I feel uncomfortable alienating our top dollar clientele here, so I don't really know what to do here. But I do think that I think that were Castiel ever to wander into a seedy massage parlor, I don't know. I imagine, and were he looking for a happy ending in that scenario, I have a feeling that he would awkwardly botch it because he wouldn't know the right code language to get, you know what I mean? You do. It sounds like you've been in that situation. Okay, let's move on. Hi. Wait, you're from Australia? Okay, did you bring a translator? Because we're not going to be able to understand a word you say. Oh, this must be so frustrating. I don't know what you're saying.
I wanted to ask you, I have binge watched quite a few seasons before I came.
Yeah, in preparation?
Yes.
You wanted to come prepared. Okay.
And I love all the religious yin yang stuff going on in many different things they've done. And I wanted to know, did the cast know about Chuck? And because in Swan Song he never died, he just vanished. And he appeared, you know, in fan fiction and all of that. Did you guys?
It's not my favorite movie. I love the Chuck fan fiction.
He's the actor from Hollywood.
What?
As God, he
What?
obviously did the act when he went looking for God.
Yes.
And I just wanted to know though, the cast, you guys, did you have any idea that he was going to stick around and be God? And, you know, do you understand what I'm trying to ask?
Well, listen. I didn't understand the word when you were saying. But you seem like a lovely person. The only thing I understood about what you said was that you're a big fan of Chuck fanfiction. Is it the theater? If I do a beer, would you maybe come over with my fanfiction? Okay. But we digress. No, I know it is. Do you notice here? How long have you been here in North America?
Only 5 days.
5 days. Have you noticed, does the toilet spin twirling the opposite direction?
I'm really jet lagged, so.
You're jet lagged. Okay. You just want me to answer your questions so you can go sit down. That makes sense. That makes sense. This is frustrating. I get it. I wouldn't want to be in this situation either. Some jerk just not answering the question. Diverting, talking about a toilet bowl. What the hell is happening? Yeah, it sucks. You know what? It does. I'm sorry. But welcome to America. You know? Somebody gave me these, which I want to point out to you. Hi, everybody.
My wife has a pair of these at home, and she wears them around, and she cannot stop laughing while she's wearing one of these. It's like the funniest thing, and it never gets old for her. Anyway, your question was, what's that?
Your character hasn't met God yet, and I'm thinking.
Are you still on this? Unbelievable! I was talking about something important. So. I wonder if this is what it's like when Donald Trump puts his hand on your leg. I digress again. This is a good question. So, your people have stamina, huh? Right on. I love that. That's amazing. You came a long way to ask this question, and you're not going to be distracted by my.
I can't wait to see when you meet God anyway. I think that's going to be amazing.
Wait a minute. Okay. Things are coming into focus for me here. Okay, so wait a minute. You prefaced this entire rambling question of yours with you binge watched in preparation.
Yes.
Yes. Is this your first convention?
Yes, it is.
How many? How?
Not going well.
It's not going This is very normal hazing process that we're engaged in right now. So, how many seasons have you watched?
I've watched from the very beginning
All the way to where?
to the last second 12 episodes. 12 episodes, second episode.
Ouch. 12 episode, second episode of the 12th season?
Yes.
Okay, so you watched all the way through.
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought you asked me, do I think Cass is going to meet God?
No. Just the reaction that you had and had when you met God.
Yep.
Obviously, you've been looking for him.
Right.
It was a big deal throughout the whole thing.
God is a hot considered. Yep.
Yes, fantastic. I was also asking the cast, did you guys know from when Chuck was first introduced, did you all know that he was going to be God? And you can't answer that.
I don't know about down under, but here in America, you don't talk to people that way. So, yes. So in season 5, we had an inclination because Eric Kripke had created this scenario where the writer who created the entire universe of Supernatural was God-ish. It seemed like he might be God, right? And we saw that he was probably going in that direction because writers always think of themselves as gods. What? Well, yes, I suppose that was what it was, because he was a writer that the writer was writing about. So yeah, I think so. I feel like we've gotten above this. Are you going to go back home and tell your people what pleasant interaction we had? Yeah, good. You've been an incredible ambassador. Thank you for visiting our country. I hope you don't find our customs too soon. Hi.
So I think each of us in the fandom have our own opinion on what the most important change has been to Cass's character. But what I want to know is, what do you think Cass feels has been the most important change to his character ever since he was introduced?
Ever since he was introduced? Well, I think probably Cass would answer something about getting to know humanity. He has developed a deep empathy for humanity in the truest sense of the word, because he was actually human for a spell, but also because of his exposure and intimacy with Sam and Dean. Sam and Dean have become replacements to him as family. The angels were his brothers and sisters, but he's definitely been cast out by heaven and does not have a home there anymore. And so while he's still something of an outsider everywhere he goes, the closest thing that he has to home and family is with the Winchesters. So I think that relationship with Sam and Dean as proxies for humanity in general is the most important change for Cass, or it's caused the greatest change in him. Because he was definitely, when we first met him, he saw himself as a protector of humans, but he was beholden to heaven, and it was almost like, I think that he thought of humans as like a security guard would think of a property that he's charged with protecting. Not, they weren't beings that he had an important interplay with, you know? So I think that's a big difference. Also, you know, it's been now we've been watching, those of us who don't binge watch, have been watching Castiel for 9 years. And so he's gotten increasingly more, I would say, chiseled.
over that time. I've noticed the character is as time passes, significantly more ripped.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, we met earlier today, but my question is, what was the last lie you told?
Over the last 9 years, Castiel has gotten significantly more ripped. Hi.
Misha,
How are you?
that's great. My wife's still trying to calm down from the photo op.
Oh, really?
Is actually coming from her.
Okay.
As we all know, Gabriel supposedly died at some point. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think the trickster tricked him.
Yep.
And you cannot convince the fandom otherwise. There's no way in hell. Will Castiel ever find
I get
Gabriel?
the sense that if I did try to convince you of that, you would deck me. So, will Cass ever find Gabriel?
Even by accident. Like he's just roaming around
Just
town.
roaming around, he's like, hey, going to the local sheriff's office with Sam and Dean and pop in and what the fuck is that? Is that Gabriel that just walked by? And I'm like, yeah, what the boy? Hey, Gabriel! Oh, he's gone. What the hell? That would be a great motif to play out over the course of the next 7 or 8 seasons. It's like, Gabriel, we think somewhere in the distant background. Is that Gabriel? It's actually a really good idea. Thank you. I think if you see that implemented on screen, you'll know that you were its creator. But you will get no royalties. Hi.
Hi, my name is Alicia.
Hi, Alicia.
Since Castiel has become more human and even was trying to date, is there a possibility that he would date and even conceive with a woman, considering he uses his angel blade for protection?
Wait. Okay, what?
Is there a possibility that Castiel would grow a family with a human woman and would the child have angel powers, or would the child be pure Jimmy DNA?
Oh, God. Okay. So, I hate to school you on supernatural mythology, but it looks like I'm going to have to. If an angel copulates with a human, the spawn is a Nephilim. I want to spike this mic. So, in answer to your question, if Cass were to lay, in biblical terms, with a woman, and they were to use as protection only an angel blade, it's entirely possible that a Nephilim would be conceived, and Nephilim are very powerful beings. So, could cause a real disturbance in the force. To use another term that I borrow from the supernatural canon. Thank you for that deep and probing question. Hi.
Hi. So I've been Gish the past couple of years.
All right, now we're talking.
Alright, I've seen some incredible and amazing things come out of people who do it. So I was wondering, although they've done some great things for the community, what's the most entertaining thing you've ever seen or done?
So the very first one of the very first submissions that came in from Gish's was an item that I had written, which was cover yourself completely in cotton candy with only your face exposed and we must see a smearing of lipstick on your face. It's basically like the carnival equivalent of being target-vetted. It's a horrific thing to ask somebody to do, cover their body with cotton candy. I didn't really think it all the way through, but I guess like if you're all sweaty, and this was summertime, you're all sweaty, the cotton candy kind of like fuses with your skin. And starts,
Sugar wasn't fun either.
I'm sorry, not sorry. These first images came in, and I just could not. It was basically like I asked people to do something disgusting and humiliating, and they did it. And I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. The images were incredible. So that one really stands out still for me. It was just a spectacular image. It was just one photo, and I think I actually had T-shirts made up of it, which, by the way, no one has ever worn because they just look disgusting. But it was this guy standing in his room like this, like clearly miserable beyond belief, covered in pink cotton candy and red lipstick all over his face. And I know he's thinking, just take a fucking picture, just take a fucking picture. And yet that photo brought me so much joy. Speaking of dishes, I want to share one other little tidbit here, which I am very excited about and proud about from this year's scavenger hunt. Pardon the digression. I don't want to hog the stage. So one of the items that we had the item list, and then those of you who don't know, Gish is like a big kind of scavenger hunt, but it's a little bit more than a scavenger hunt. But how many people have done it here? It's kind of awesome, and the stuff that people do it's just amazing. But anyway, one of the things we had this year, we had the list, and the list went out, and we try to do a bunch of items in the scavenger hunt that get people to go out and do nice things in their communities. And so we had a bunch of those items, but we were like, we're a couple days into the hunt, and it was like, I feel like we're missing something. We could make a big impact. One year, we had done this thing where there was a veteran who had come back from Afghanistan, having lost both of his legs. His wife had a chronic illness. They had a child with very severe autism, and they were homeless. There was another nonprofit that was buying them a house, or building them a house. So we put in the hunt to fully furnish that house for this family. And we basically set up like a wedding registry at a Sears, and people just got things like couches and refrigerators and dishes and blenders and everything to fully furnish this house. And that was an item in the scavenger hunt. It was really awesome. But this year we didn't have something like that. We were scratching our heads. And then Philip, who was sort of the co-operator of Gish, was with me. He was like, wait a minute, I know this guy. So we called this guy. He's a reporter who covers war photography. He's a war photographer. So he's been traveling around for years and years. He lost 2 legs and an arm to an IED, and he's still working as a war correspondent photographer and doing some amazing work. But he had done these stories on these families, these Syrian refugee families in Lebanon, who were living in just the most dire circumstances. One family had, in particular, the mother had been tending in Syria to their little plot of vegetables in the city because they, are kind of being starved out in a lot of places, and was shot by a sniper in the spine and became paralyzed. And they managed to get out of Syria, but now for 2 years they've been living in this camp. And she's just been staring at the ceiling of her tent for 2 years without getting medical attention. And the kids, one of her daughters, she has a large family, one of the kids recently tried to kill himself because she wanted the family to have enough food to feed all the other kids. Like the most heartbreaking story. And so we put it in the scavenger hunt. I didn't want to make people have to give them. So we said, get other people to donate to this cause as an item in the scavenger hunt to help this family, this one family that this photographer had identified for us. And we needed like $50,000 to take care of them, like school, clothes, medical needs, get them out of this tent for the next 3 years. And we ended up raising $225,000. And So we had to scramble, like that right away. We had raised enough money for that one family, and then we had to scramble to find another family, and another family, and another family. And tomorrow, or on Monday, Philip is going to be in Lebanon, meeting with these families and filming them finding out, because we haven't told them yet, that we have all this money for them. And that is really going to completely change their circumstances. Their lives are going to completely change. And it's so awesome, it's so cool that you guys can participate in a game that has that kind of lasting impact on people. So, go Misha.
That was good, too, because we kind of nicely bookended this very somber panel with discussions of political matters. So, thank you.
I think that your charity and your generosity are matched only by your complete disregard for Jim's well-being and making him FaceTime this whole thing for an hour of holding a phone steady, Your Majesty.
His arms are trembling.
He's sweating profusely.
Please let this thing be over.
Look at those arms.
The good news is
There's tears streaming down his cheeks.
but you can rest easy knowing he's an unpaid volunteer. Thank you for using Jim's time like this. Truly, Misha Collins, your charity knows your bounds. You're very important.